Hey guys, it's Jack here. Quick thing before we get started. We had a little bit of technical difficulty starting this first episode. I didn't realize it at the time, but the video capture was capturing two different mics at the same time, so I was a little prepared because I recorded some of it on Audacity, but every once in a while you're probably going to hear like it sounds like I'm talking from two different places. We figured out what was wrong after we finished recording, unfortunately, but we won't be having any problems like this in future episodes. So, thanks for understanding. Enjoy the first episode. Roll it. Hello patrons, or subscribers depending on where you're watching this from, and welcome to a special behind-the-scenes look at Avatar Rise of Kyoshi's visual novel that I call the Pai Sho Board. Before I talk about what that all is in earnest, I'm going to just do a quick bit of introductions. I'm Jack, I'm the director, editor, sound engineer, and like 50 other things on this project. With me I have Kieran.
Hello, I'm an artist. I've worked on Kelsong, or the concepts of Kelsong in episode 1.
You also did a bit of the intro too, didn't you? I'm pretty sure you did most of, if not all of Rangi and outline for everybody else.
It has been a while.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But then also with me is we also have Jojo with me.
Hello. I'm admin support and Phil. That's it, pretty much.
I mean, you've done your share of artwork on this too. I mean, you did the first. You both kind of collaborated on the first 30 seconds of this video, which is like the intro and the first establishing shot.
Yeah, but that's nothing in comparison.
I mean, I guess.
Comparatively, I am admin staff.
Okay, before I start arguing semantics here, we got one more person. We have one more person we got to introduce here, and this is kind of our star player for this first episode. If you saw a lot of Rise of Kyoshi fan art, there's a good 80% chance it was probably from this guy, and he just happened to be willing to sign on to the project here. Welcome, Kkachi95.
Hey everyone, I just draw some things here and there.
Don't sell yourself short, man. You have this 80% of the artwork for this episode was kind of on you.
It took a while, the whole project as a whole.
I guess so, yeah. But before we really talk about the episode in earnest, though, I guess it only makes sense to sort of talk about how we got started on this project to begin with. So initially, it started with me reading. I didn't really read. I listened to the Audible for Avatar: Rise of Kyoshi and Shadow of Kyoshi, and naturally, I loved it. It was a little dry, but the audiobook definitely made it a lot more easy to get through. But then I kind of thought, I should do something with this. Because I always do little fun fandom projects on the side. On my personal channel, I ended up doing a thing where I dubbed the Overwatch comics for a year, just using local friends to voice act for characters. One of which was you, Kieran.
Yeah, I still am very proud of my performance.
Hey man, you did great. I'll throw a little clip in him. Where is he?
Right here, Jack.
Oh no, you posted cringe.
Oh, I did not. Hey, like I said, man, you did good in that. Anyway, but I initially talked to Kieran about it because I wanted to originally do this as an audio drama, and then you actually gave me the idea of doing sort of an animatic series with it.
I remember I was at work sitting in a terrible excuse of a vehicle that is just a metal box with an engine, with no heating or insulation, waiting for a plane to be taken care of, because that's my job. And I saw it, and I'm like, we could go a step further. Let's try to it'd be an animatic. And at the time, I thought it was a really good idea.
Yeah, and then as we actually started laying out the work for episode 1, we realized very quickly that it was going to be a much taller order than we initially anticipated.
Throwback to when Jack was like, if I pay $30 for every image in this, it's just you would be broke. That is not an out-of-pocket expense there, buddy.
No, it is not. God, what was the final number of that? Do you remember?
I don't know. It was back when you were even entertaining full animation, and I was like, yeah. So if you were to like on the exorbitant end of it, do 32 images a second, and you had 5 seconds of animation, and
Ugh.
Might as well be working for Viacom at that point anyway.
I know, right? But eventually, but also a problem was Kieran and I would both kind of get sidetracked regularly. Like,
Yeah, me more than anyone else, and that's a
Fair.
fact.
yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't want to put the spotlight on you for that, but since you
I'm
invited
distracting myself right now as we speak.
good thing this is an audio only segment. No spotlights.
yeah, but yeah, then eventually that kind of warranted. Okay, we need somebody to kind of help organize this, and that's when we got Jojo on board because she was an artist and she was also helped us organize for like 90% of the shit that we did for our series that we're still using to this day.
So the way I see it is what happened is you guys came to me for the animatic idea still, and then we entertained that for a while. I think it was a combination actually of me and Kkachi who beat it down to a graphic novel.
Yeah. Though we're kind of skipping a little bit ahead on this one because this is back when we were still wanting to just do an animatic of it, and we just didn't really know how we wanted to direct it a lot of the time. It took us forever just to sort of do the outline that we never even used for the episode. Which, by the way, Kieran, all the respect for actually putting together the animation list for that, because that could not have been easy.
Yeah, I actually looked up a few resources on how to write out a storyboard animatic, and I'm like, oh, I feel smarter already.
Yeah, and eventually we just kind of had to sit down. Oh wait, hold on, I'm getting ahead again. That's when we decided we needed to see about looking into some extra artists. And originally, I actually just contacted Kkachi about using his characters as a point of reference for designing characters. And by my surprise, he ended up saying yes, because I was just some rando on Facebook, and I messaged his Facebook group, and that's just kind of how it was at first. And then eventually, I just messaged him saying, "Hey, you want to just jump on board this project?" And a few more meetings later, it just kind of turned into, what if we just do a visual novel? That'll be a million times easier.
Yeah, I think it was back in summer last year, and it was just taking too long to do a full animatics, and I floated the idea, hey, you've seen those old Japanese video games where they have visual novel style dialogues and stuff. So,
yeah, like Fire Emblem or Phoenix Wright, and
and we're like, let's try that. And once we got the first few images down, it became a lot easier. But oh yeah, this is a way to go.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think I know, Jojo. I know you said you don't. I know that was a little bit of both of you, but I know that essentially saved this project. So the main reason that this even got out of development hell that year it spent is because of you two. So just wanting to make sure that they all know that too. Jojo, you good? I think we lost you.
I just said holla holla.
Oh.
it was not a long phrase.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
threw up a peace sign and everything, but just see it in your heart.
I did see it in my heart. Anyway, yeah, so I guess now that we kind of got that out of the way, that's how we ended up eventually branching out to getting more artists. We got more voice actors eventually, and one of which is Akira Buckland, who plays our Heiran. Actually, just this is gonna date this a little bit. As of yesterday, confirmed that she's now the leading lady of Jolene Cujo in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Kind of surreal.
It is pretty surreal because for almost a decade before Part 6 was even being considered for animation, she would cosplay her all the time.
Context, same hometown.
Yeah, I guess that is something to bring up. Is she's from the same hometown as us, and we've just kind of been friends for that long, and that's kind of how she ended up jumping into this project, is because we just knew each other that long.
And where are you guys from?
We're from Anchorage, Alaska. I mean, I already talked about it in.
Oh, did you? Oh, my bad.
I mean, we already talked about it in another video, so I don't really feel too bad.
Oh,
about,
okay, gotcha.
I don't really feel too bad about blowing the whistle on that here, because we kind of already did.
How dare you let the masses know that we are icicle people?
I mean, sometimes we also have snow, not just icicles.
No, just icicles. You go outside and it's just crunchy.
Yeah.
But that only accounts for 3 of us, because a majority of the cast is global.
Yeah, we actually have a couple voice actors that are from Alaska. Kira's from Alaska. Lilu, our voice actors for Aoma and Suzu for episode 2. She's from here, actually. And,
Yeah, but she's not here still.
That's true. Everyone else, though, is pretty global. Anna Pisarka, our voice actress for Kyoshi, is actually all the way in Poland, believe it or not. So, not sure how easy it'll be to organize an episode with her, but, we'll try. Alright, but anyway, I guess the first thing to really talk about with the episode is the opening. So the theme itself is composed by what was his name? Looking it up really quick. Andreas Pilcher, I'm not really sure how to say his last name, but he was a Hungarian composer on Fiverr, I think is where I found him. Actually, for your recommendations, Jojo, it was a good call on your part.
I don't know how else to contact musical people because I have no connection.
That is understandable. We actually do have a composer with us, and it's not the same guy, but if you didn't know that, but if I didn't say that going in, most people probably wouldn't have realized that, because it's pretty close to how the original is done.
Yeah, they're both pretty talented. They're very talented people. Talented people.
Yeah,
talented people, and they did a really phenomenal job of matching the entire vibe of the Avatar universe.
Yeah, the direction for this in general was try to match the tone of The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra, but also throw a little bit more Japanese style instrumental because Kyoshi's based on a lot of Japanese culture specifically. Because a lot of people associate the style of animation with Japan, but honestly, there's almost no Japanese influence in the series except for with Kyoshi.
Yeah, I think it's mostly Chinese.
It's a very Sino-influenced world with a bunch of other cultures mixed in.
Yeah, that's very true. Because there's also, Alaska Native. There's a little bit of Mesoamerican actually.
Yep.
But anyway, the artwork is done by kind of a combination of Kieran Jojo and Kkachi here. Because I know most of the coloring was handled by Jojo. Some of the sketch work was done by Kieran, and a lot of the finalizing was done by Kkachi here.
Yeah, I just did the outlining from what I remember correctly.
Right. But then I gave it a green backdrop, and the opening is actually done by Fallon Echo, who plays Rangi in later episodes, and also plays the disgruntled mother in episode 1. I don't know how many people knew that.
Master of all 4 elements, but also stood as a symbol of...
Here, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna cut this part out. But... Yeah, more artwork done here by Kkachi here. It's beautifully done.
The latest Avatar's time, the world of spirits grew restless and began to ravage the physical world.
The OG sketches for these pieces were phenomenal. Like, it was like some of the earlier work that we saw from Kkachi. It was like, yeah, would you like to contribute? And he's like, yeah, here you go. I'm just gonna go ham right off the bat. We're like, okay, make me feel insignificant. Resigning as artist. It's all you, man. You got it.
I'm still blown away.
It is pretty impressive. By the way, you might notice that the person in the opening doesn't quite look like who it should be, but you might see a little bit of changes on that as the series goes on. Just possibility.
And the spirits
I'm the next Avatar.
Oh boy.
The spirits are from
the
later novels, or the second novel actually.
Yeah, from the second novel. So there's a little bit of a controversy about this episode as to my choice of revealing a little bit of what was going on with episode 1, and to sort of address that here now, actually. So for those of you who don't know, it was known that Kuruk was renowned as a legendary hunter, and one of his most dangerous games, quote unquote, was hunting spirits. Now, I don't know if the spirit part specifically was known, but I do know for a fact that the reason why he was hunting spirits was not well known. So that's kind of my justification for having the commentary for the opening the way it is. So that was my thought process when I was doing this. So I don't really even know who I'm trying to direct this towards. This is more just to whom it concerns, because a lot of the people.
One specific audience member's like, "Dang, he got me. I've been told."
But no, because like a lot of people who are watching this, they've already read the books going in. So a lot of the comments I did see was I'm not sure why you talked so much about Kuruk's life during this part, and I go, I didn't really. I just talked about one specific thing that he did.
But also, I think it's a really cool thing to make sure that the content's all accessible to people who haven't read the book.
It's true. A while ago, I actually ran a poll on our Twitter page, where I took a little bit of a census as to how they got introduced to Rise of Kyoshi, and granted, well, around 85% of it were people who read the book, and we're about tied with people who read the audiobook. So, it's not a high amount, but it isn't zero either. So, I think that's pretty cool.
Avatar.
Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. My one visual art piece of contribution to the episode. That little
Didn't I
splatter
show
with
you
the
how to
title.
download that font?
The font for the episode?
Herculanum, whatever it's called.
I think it was yeah, something like that, Herculanum. I'll put the correct version of it on here. Oh, and there's the opening with hold on, I just realized I skipped past this part. But here's the first shot. It was initially done by Kieran and then colored by Jojo. And I guess one thing we didn't touch on when we were talking about making an animatic is we originally wanted to make it in a style of old Japanese style paintings, where it was mostly parchment colored and shades of black. And the only real distinction we were going to give here, I'll skip a little bit ahead so people can see, is the different eye colors for different nations and the colored arrows for air nomads.
So we, the fools, genuinely thought that if we just didn't color an animatic,
no idea there
it
were
would
so
be
many
easy.
toy.
Right. Turns out
That's my favorite character, Chatoboxukun.
Oh, that's right. We got yeah. A fun fact for all of our audience, because the chat box you see there, it has a name, and it's Chatobox-kun, named by JoJo, as a matter of fact.
Because when we first entertained the idea of the graphic novel style, we were thinking, like, what do we make our chat box? And Kkachi and I, like, could swear upon our lives that we remember there being an original Avatar commentary series that had its own chat boxes. We're like, yeah, we can just take those. Can't find them. They're gone. They're gone. I swear they're good.
I think that's like... You think that's like our equivalent to people swearing that there was a kiss in the end of Legend of Korra, but they can be found nowhere online?
It's the Mandela effect.
It's exactly
It
that.
is the Mandela effect, you're right.
So I instead stole the title cards from the comics.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out fine to me. I mean...
I think Chatoboxukun is very handsome.
He's very handsome.
It's my son.
Looks very sharp.
Speaking of sharp, we got Jenju here, drawn by Kkachi, along with Kelsong here, done by Kieran and colored by Jojo. And oh, that's right. So James Digit was kind of a fun find for when it came to the voice for Kelsong, because he did not actually audition for this project. So, we originally, we were just kind of near the end of our deadline for our episode, where, and I was just kind of browsing through Casting Call Club, and I decided to try for a few things, and I think it was like an Overwatch comic Halloween thing, and I tried auditioning for the part of Zenyatta. And I was one of those people who always likes to sort of scope out their competition for voice actors when I audition. So after I posted my thing, I scrolled down and I found his audition for Zenyatta, and it gave me chills. Like, actually gave me chills. So I thought, I gotta get this guy in on this. Because... Huh? I still auditioned. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure I didn't make it. I don't know who ended up making it. Probably him, honestly. But, yeah, I messaged him and I asked him if he wanted to jump in on this, and honestly, it was perfect. He was, I actually saw a few comments on this video about when I first imagined Kelsong's voice. This was exactly what I imagined, and that made me really happy because I think he did great.
He has a rich, deep voice.
Mm-hmm.
His voice has money?
I mean, see for
A
yourself.
lot of money.
His voice
So,
pays taxes?
How did you manage to change
mean-
Avatar's mind about giving you the relics?
I mean, hear
The
for
same
yourself.
way you convinced Liu Beifeng to let us administer the air nomad test in the Earth cycle. I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, for those of you, I don't know, if Nutella could have a voice, I think it would sound like that. I don't know why Nutella specifically is what I thought of, but anyone else
So,
feeling
like,
on that?
Isn't the chocolate?
Yes.
Oh, hazelnut.
Hazelnut.
Hazelnut spread.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of rich, though, we have, oh, God, I have no idea how to say his name. Kevin Kotaleva as Jenju, and now by contrast, he actually did get the audition for Jenju, and he wanted to go for sort of a mix of Admiral Zhao meets the prison warden from the episode with Haru, voiced by George Takei, and I think it worked out as a good combo.
It's like Kuruk used to say, better to ask forgiveness than wait for permission.
Oh, also, I guess we didn't talk about this, but the background was done by, I believe it was it Cosmic Dragon, I think, that did this one? With all the, like, here,
Yes.
yeah, okay, that's what I thought. But, here, I'll see if I can find a
Seems
shot
like it wasn't
where,
working. I still can't believe
if
it's
I
been
can't-
7 years since
you know, if I
we
can't
lost
find it, I'll just post it in the final video, but if you look in the background, there is distinct details for all those toys that you see in the background, and I didn't even notice that initially, because I had originally didn't think there was going to even be a shot with the toys, but she decided to go the extra mile and just draw all that in the background too, so I wholeheartedly appreciate it
First
for
and last
that.
time Kuruk's ever been early for something in his life.
That sounds like something Hayride
I couldn't imagine how long that took.
Yeah, surprisingly quick actually. It only took about a week and a half, I think.
Wow.
The sun's coming up. We couldn't do it the Earthbender's way, so let's find the Avatar the Airbender way. How hard could it be?
This little edit, by the way, was Kieran's idea, is to do the little spring sound when they were
How could it be?
doing this.
Yeah, initially I think it was just like a straight cut with the sound. I'm like, no, you gotta make it bounce. You
Yeah,
gotta
that's-
make it spring.
Insert the PowerPoint transition.
I mean, that was the spring sound effect from One Piece, by the way. Fun fact.
Oh,
Yeah.
One Piece brand spring.
All right, Kkachi, was that you that did this one, or did Cosmic Dragon do this one?
That's
too?
Cosmic Dragon.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I'm telling you.
That's right. So that's Fallon voicing the disgruntled mom for this episode, Karine. Which, fun fact, by the way, didn't have a name until the last 2 weeks of production of this episode.
Yeah.
We kind of came up with that name on a dare, and it just kind of stuck.
You can tell by the hair.
We are the only ones
Absolutely.
here.
I don't believe this.
Yeah.
Come along.
Fallon did a fantastic job voicing both Karen and Baby Alma in this episode.
Well, at least they're being reasonable so far.
For the last time, I am not negotiating a salary. The Avatar is not a paying job.
Sounds like a waste of time to me then. I'll just take
That's
this
just
out
some
and
guy.
go.
Wait, Jenju.
Just a dude.
Yeah. Which, by okay. Oh,
This'll have to come out.
first off, let me get back here.
Jenju, look.
So first off, that shot here was done by Jewel Art. She's wait, was it Jewel Art or Cosmic Dragon that did this one?
That's jewel art.
Okay, it was Jewel Art. That's what I thought. And this is just her holding 2 of the Avatar relics, and yeah, I tried to make it stand out a little more because I didn't know if we could do visuals with this at the time because I did the audio like way before we got visuals to go with this. And okay, so I meant to ask this, by the way, Kkachi. So we're friends on Facebook. I have to ask. This looks a lot like how I did back when I first had hair, because I shaved my head a few years ago and I just kind of stuck with it since then. Was that intentional or is that just a coincidence?
It's a coincidence, actually. I just looked up pictures of the Ainu people from northern Japan, and I just found one of the guys on the old historical photo and like mimicked his face.
Okay, I understand that. I would have just wrote that off as a coincidence if it was just the beard, because, that can happen. But then the cheekbones and the way the hair was pulled back when I used to have hair, it's like, it was a little hard to not see it a little for me.
I guess you have an old
She turns out to
I
be the
knew
Avatar.
doppelganger
Oh,
from
shoot.
years past.
She is the Avatar.
Yeah, old man
Actually,
face.
Why
in
would I
the-
pay you if she's not the Avatar?
This is still probably one of my favorite gags in the whole episode, though, I actually learned how to do a table flip sound effect for that. It's not literally a table flip, but table turn. It's when the music just kind of goes like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was called a table flip at the time either, by the way.
Silvers.
Get out of here!
Yeah, Kotaleva just absolutely killed it as Jenju in this episode.
Hey, you forgot your other daughter.
Oh, and the baby Kyoshi, that's right.
That one ain't anyone's.
I tried to sort of illustrate it, and Shivu actually illustrated it a lot better in the opening, but I initially wanted to have it kind of look like he was crouching down to her. Also, Anna Pisarca as baby Kyoshi, by the way, absolutely killed it for me. Just every time I heard a line as her, my heart hurt a little. Because, so normally what I do is I run people through the line systematically, but for her specifically, all I really did was just kind of give her some rough direction, is just kind of channel, Eri from My Hero Academia, where she's scared to, really be emotional, because if she does, she's afraid that everything that she has is just going to get taken away again. Kind of like the situation she's in right now. And I think she absolutely just nailed it with this. Even the gray eyes, I think, the eyes look kind of gray in this shot too, and which I think works in the behavior.
Her when she first came in.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever actually said that, Kkachi, but you did a great job
It's
with
up
baby
when they hear the
Kyoshi.
child could be the next Avatar.
Thanks.
She must be an orphan. With the Dao Fei around here, I'm surprised there aren't more like her. But she looks so malnourished, even with the peasantry to compare.
Is this one okay?
That's her holding the small Fey turtle.
Yes, good choice. But I've got a surprise for you. You can have 3 more. 4 whole toys to yourself. Wouldn't you like that? It's all right. You don't have to put that down. That's the whole point. You can choose differently. Hey!
The music here, by the way, is called Gunpai. It's done by Adrian von Ziegler, and if you don't know who he is, he's a independent composer online, and he kind of has a plethora when it comes to doing different styles of music. He did some Eastern theme, but he's also got a lot of Slavic themes.
It's my favorite cut.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was by Cosmic Dragon. It's really good.
Yeah.
When
And
I first
then-
started, I was like, "Whoa!"
Damn it.
It kind of reminds me of that scene in Spirited Away where Haku is stealing Chihiro through the city of spirits, and they're just like zipping past everyone. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Also, background composition done by Joulard in this scene, I believe. Yeah.
Look, people would think you just lost your nation's most important cultural artifact.
This isn't the time, Kelsong.
I know a legit criticism I got from this episode is that I think I borrowed a little too much of the dialogue book, because written dialogue does not always translate well to spoken dialogue, and I learned that kind of the hard way. But I think since then I've been doing a lot more upkeep on the script, because a lot of the script writing I did initially was just line for line, and I've been just kind of retooling it as we go through. But yeah, this last shot here was done by Cosmic Dragon 2, I believe, and I think it's one of my favorite shots in the whole episode.
That
It's
atmospheric lightning is
The air
amazing.
nomad test
It really
just to
is.
make a child happy.
It'll find its way back to where it belongs. I'm sure.
just every line that James Digit does as Cal's song is just wonderful. It's a very warm sounding voice. Oh, and finally we have this last shot of the original Kuruk gang. Yeah. I really gotta wonder what kind of stress that Jenju went through after. Okay, I know what he went through after this stuff here, but Damn, stress does not look good on him. And, yeah, that was episode 1 of Rise of Kyoshi. So, I don't even know really where else to... I don't really know where to go from that point, honestly.
Looking back, it's a pretty short episode, but man, it felt like forever bringing that out.
I know. It took us a while to really put that episode together, but ultimately, I think it was definitely worth it. It was...
having that out and seeing it in a full, like, produced version definitely motivated me to keep working on additional art.
Mm-hmm. I'm really happy it turned out the way it did. It's... Believe it or not, I actually do have one video I made that's a lot higher views, but this is definitely the one I'm more proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that other video just a 2-scale Pokemon size comparison?
Actually. Okay, so if you never saw it, don't watch it. It's terrible because I get like names mixed up with certain Pokemon. Some of them move when they shouldn't. So, but it was
your training wheel.
Yeah, I guess you could say it was my training wheels. Ultimately, though, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I appreciate you guys for jumping aboard on this, because this is I feel like this is going to go into something really fun. Well, I know it's been really fun, but I do think it's going to be something big. So we're going to ride this all the way to the end, or until we get a cease and desist from Viacom. At which point, well, that one we can't do. But
let's hope that doesn't happen.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, that's all I've really got to bring up here. Kkachi, where can we find you online for those interested?
I'm on most social media platforms, actually. Just Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm most active on Instagram and Reddit. So
okay.
If you want to ask me questions, just send me a DM, and I'll probably check it relatively soon.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for checking out our first episode of the Pai Sho Board. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then consider supporting us on Patreon, because on Patreon, the next one's already up. So until then, we'll see you guys in the next episode, and hope you guys have a good night. Take it easy.
Thank you, everyone.
Au revoir.
Hasta la pasta. Stop laughing at that. It's a normal phrase.
It's a valid farewell.
It is. Okay, I'm going to stop now.